Hello, everybody. Profiler Tones and Talks, another special broadcast. We would be at episode 17, 18, sort of ish, if we would have counted the last ones, which we didn't. Excuses for that, but it doesn't matter anyways. We talked about liquid profiling, do's and don'ts, version 1 and 2, and I hope this was very inspirational to you guys. And thanks again at this point to Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Hi, Tom.
For always diving and getting through the jungles of new technology and finding the proper ways or the ways to get through there and get something out for yourself. And yeah, today we will have another exciting journey ahead of us, which we will take with you guys together because we haven't rehearsed that. So bear with us. But I don't want to go further without acknowledging one guitar player who passed away during the last days, and that's Bernie Marsden. And well, everybody says he was such a nice person and a great humble guy. And I personally was knowing about him through the early Whitesnake stuff. And I was so amazed by his playing because he had this blues approach, but also playing in these hard rock contexts. And he brought to my conscious a completely different guitar tone, this bluesy Les Paul thing, which these days, and he stepped back from wanting to sell it a couple of months ago. It's his The Beast, I think it's called. His Les Paul. It's
one of the famous Les Pauls.
Right. It's they consider it to be worth $1 million or something, whatever sense that might make. But Bernie Marsden was really a very musical, expressive and placative, as we say it in Germany, a guitarist. And I had very high, a lot of respect for him. So, and yeah, then he disappeared a little bit from my radar, at least. But so many people were really touched by this, and so that's why we and I, at this point, just want to have a shout out to Bernie up there, and hope all the musicians up there already are having a great time. And it might be interesting to see the wrangling between Johann Sebastian Bach and Jimi Hendrix up there, and what Beethoven would have to do in there. But anyways, that's something else. Okay, yeah, rip, rest in peace, Bernie. And then we're moving on to our jungle, and we're getting out the Mahatis, if it's called, I guess. And start with this old saying, I think it was Smirnoff in Orange, but we say now Profiler and the Door, just good friends. And proving this.
Off some lights here, I think.
And Thomas is here trying to prove that the Profiler and the Door
trying to record something.
Are good friends. The DAW, DAW, digital audio workstation. Your Logics, your Pro Tools, your Cubases, your Ableton Lives, Reaper, Studio Ones, you name them. Now the Profiler is, you know that since version 9, OS 9, in USB compliant audio interface. And you can use the Profiler now very conveniently in several roles in conjunction with your DAW. And maybe I just list them here. We're getting into details, of course. I/O, then we can use it for reamping. We can just get clean DI guitars in there to further use with plugins afterwards. The effects of the Profiler can be used for any other instruments. And I mentioned reamping, yes. And yeah, you can also bring in now, without any additional cableage, your DAW or your backing tracks onto stage if you're going direct with the profiler. And now please forget all of this, because now we're heading over to Thomas, and we will start with the most important part of that, the USB connectivity with the profiler, which is, well, recording, get it going. How does it look with your DAW, and what are the possibilities with it? So enough of me, Thomas.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, simple stuff first. So in this episode, we're just talking about the guitar player, which is me, tries to record something and tries to get some sounds out of it. And how does it work? How do I need to connect everything? So I will start quick. First thing you need to do is to connect the profiler via USB to your computer. So that means the profiler on the profiler head, what is that called, this USB socket? It's not the one for the USB stick, the other one. Is it A? USB A?
Well, it's a class. Well, it's a USB A cable that you would need if you want to go on one shop for someone. For one, excuse me. That's a USB A cable. Yeah, and because that's USB 1 and USB 2 plug, and the thing that goes into the socket, that's the A.
Yeah, okay, then I'm right.
As far as I know.
So the same connection as when you use the rig manager. So nothing else. If somebody's using the rig manager, that's a connection that should be that's needed. And I recommend to do it the direct way, so not with an USB hub. They said it's okay to use a USB hub, but just for me, it's the Mojo stuff. I like to have the direct connection. So it's like taking short cables for recording. So, okay, this is done. Next thing, you need to hear the profiler. So that means either use the headphone on the connected to the profiler. That's the easiest way. When you're on the road with a notebook, take the profiler, connect it via USB, listen to headphones, and you're done. And another thing is use active recording monitors and connect the profiler via with the main out to the active recording speakers or studio monitors. I will share the screen to Logic. I have Logic on my computer here, and drums and bass. But first of all, you need to check in the audio settings that the input and output device is set to profiler. So you see here is some different stuff going on, and I set that to profiler. Buffer size is large, 512. I come to that later. So this is the main important thing. You can adjust this on the as the main how do you say audio setup in your computer. So take profiler in the what's that, the system settings, in the system settings of your computer, and then it's for everything. I have used it just for Logic and it works fine. So yeah, profiler is set in Logic as audio in and output. And now when I'm playing, you hear nothing. This is good, or this is okay. No dysfunction. So people, if somebody hears nothing, there is one switch to do on the profiler. So I will go to the rig manager. And we take a look at the output menu. So here, effect menu, output menu, and you see main output, monitor output. I have enlarged that. Monitor out, direct out, and here we are with the USB settings. You also have that in your profiler in the output menu. I think it's here, it's page 7, USB audio, and you have these settings on the profiler too. But I'm using the rig manager, so it's easy to work with the rig manager. Okay, we have USB reamping disabled. This is okay because you hear it and you hear the played guitar. Direct monitoring is on. I come to that later. And then we have recording source. It's the same as main output, monitor out. So you can choose something from the signal chain, what you want to record. Reamp source is just activated when you're enabled reamping, which we do in the next episode. And here's the main important knob, DAW volume. So when I start my DAW and turn the volume on, you hear drums and bass.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's the basic workflow. USB cable, DAW, right order, switching on, DAW, profiler as the output input audio settings, and then turn DAW up, and yeah, for the same level what you like to have when you record. So and if you like to play with a YouTube track or something like that, then you need to have the profiler in the system settings as the audio interface, and you can play the same jam to some YouTube tracks. But DAW volume is then the YouTube volume 2. So this is, or let's say it's something like computer volume then.
Yeah, playback volume, yeah.
Playback volume or something. Okay, now recording. Oh, I need to say something. I have the profiler head beside me, which is used now. There's a difference between the profiler stage and the profiler head and rack. Head and rack can record 2 tracks at the same time, so 2 mono tracks or 1 stereo track. And the profiler stage can record 4 tracks at the same time. So you can maybe use 1 for the stack, 1 for DI recording, and 2 as a stereo for delay, reverb, wet to record just the effects, just in 1 row. You can do that with the profiler head too, but then you need to do some reamping. I will come to that, like I said, in the next episode. So what you need to do in the DAW, switching to Logic again, create a new track. This is here. Oh, okay. Creating a new track, stereo track, input 1 and 2. That's the only one that I can use with the profiler. Output 1, 2 also, and create. I will name that guitar. And now, you see, there's signal going on, and you have 2 options for recording. Now I need to switch over to the rig manager again. So we have direct monitoring.
Oh, that's a very essential part here. So,
yes.
Listen closely to Thomas. Very important.
Okay, direct monitoring means you hear the profiler direct from, or the guitar signal direct from the profiler and without latency. Feels like, yeah, it feels normal, like you're used to do or used to play with a profiler. And this will be recorded. But if you like to have some effects from the DAW, then you might turn direct monitoring off. And when I play, you hear at first nothing. I need to switch over to Logic. Here we are. And you see here my guitar track. There's something coming in, but I need to switch on the direct monitoring. So this may be cool if you have some special effects from the DAW, which you like to hear when you're recording. So let's say a stereo delay. Now I turned, everything is off, and you just hear the stack from the profiler. I've turned off the delay and the cirrus reverb in the profiler. So this is the profiler's track. For you, it's nice when you hear that. But for me, it's not really nice because I have a little bit of latency while I'm playing. Now with the delay on. So to reduce the latency, you need to go to the DAW settings and take the buffer size maybe to 64. Takes a minute, okay. And now it's better from the play feel. And you see there's a 4.6 milliseconds output latency. So this is maybe okay for recording and playing. Okay. So that's the first thing. Now starting. Okay, so now you hear the profiler, the delay from the DAW with 4.6 milliseconds latency. Just for me, you hear this difference you won't hear now when you don't play the guitar at the right time. So another thing is, might need to go to the profile, to the rig manager. If you switch on direct monitoring, now you hear the profiler direct, the play feel is great, but also you hear the signal from the DAW with a delay. So there's no either or not. So if you're using direct monitoring, you can also listen to some effects from the DAW, but it's quite, maybe a bit later with a little bit of latency. So for my opinion, I prefer recording with direct monitoring and do all the other stuff from the DAW later on. Tom, how do you do that?
I do actually the same. Sometimes I even record with the delay and some reverb with the delay not matching to the track tempo. Just because it's good for the playing, and everything else I do afterwards. Then deal with maybe these interesting effects you might get when you add a timed delay from the DAW later to your track, and you have this little non-time delay things going on as well. They might even be really interesting. That happens when you're, trying something out, when you're in the creative mode. When it's about producing, and when you know what you want to do with a track, and you tell yourself, or the guitar player, guitarist, that it should be this sound, and blah blah blah, then I would record the dry stack, for example.
Yeah.
And,
but
but these are creative decisions, and to cut a long story short, I would use the stereo thing with the effect.
And it's great on the profiler, because you can record or play with effects, but record the stack signal without the effect. So just for your great feeling, the big reverb and everything, you can play with that, and just later on record only the stack signal. I will show you now. This is the next one. Rig Manager. Okay, so we have recording source. I have direct monitor on now, no effects in the signal chain of the DAW. And let's say I record master stereo. So very important here, when you're using direct monitoring, the main output is the one or the signal which you hear. And recording source is the one that you record. So setting them on the same level, or the same settings, you hear what you're recording. And that's what I'm doing. Changing over to Logic. Enable the track and record.
Just
where are the effects? I didn't turn them on.
Yeah, and we see the rig manager.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you see effects are turned on. Okay. Yeah, rig manager and Logic look the same here in this small screen. So now you should see Logic.
Yeah.
Track is recording enabled, and effects are on. Okay, now listening. Okay, nice, but with a lot of effects. And maybe the drums and bass are very dry. Maybe it's too much. So it's really easy with the profiler and USB recording to record separate tracks. So maybe the stack signal, maybe some effect signal to change that. I will show you now with the rig manager. Here we are. Okay, we have options. DI, just the direct guitar, nothing else. DI and stack signal, that means one track DI, one track only the stack, mod left, mod mono. So the signal chain until here in mono or on the left side, or then DI and master mono. So that means one DI signal and the whole chain. And master stereo, what I did right now, and delay, reverb, wet. This is great for reamping and for separating only those two from the stack signal. Or take the return inputs. This is when you're using maybe record another instrument or record vocals with a microphone on the return in. So, but for the guitar recording, it's cool to have DI and stack. So that means I record one track, only the direct guitar, the naked guitar, and one track until to the cabinet. So the phaser one-way compressor is recorded, but not serial two-tap delay and cirrus reverb. And on the main output, so I hear every effect, everything fine for the play feel, but record only these two. So I will do that. Changing over to Logic.
And I guess you won't record a stereo track now, correct?
No, just two mono tracks. Input one. Just take two tracks. So DI and stack. The other guitar is muted. And very important, checking which input we have. Input one is for DI. That's important because on the left side or output one from the profiler, there's the DI signal, and the stack needs to be at input 2. Okay, then recording, trying again. So, same stuff, and now listening to the soloed tracks. Here is the naked guitar. Very low level. It's a single coil guitar. That's no problem that it's so low, this level. We will see we will hear in the reamping section next time. And here's the stack signal. And this is great. So what I can do now is, if I like to have the effects, reamp with the effects with delay, reverb, wet, and you're done, and you have all options for mixing effects, effects level, and same stuff, using different effects, or using maybe now the delay on, wait, where we are? Here we are.
And the great opportunity for creativity is there because you have played the track before, including the effects.
Yeah.
It's hard. And now you have basically played the same stuff, but dry. And now you have two slightly differently played tracks, which you could also use if you're in the mixing stage afterwards for some creative stuff.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we don't get into this. If you would, think Dolby Atmos, where you can various guitar takes into different spaces. This opens a lot of opportunities. So just as a little chime in here, it's amazing how this little USB connectivity adds to the creative potential for production with your guitar sounds and your profiler sounds and just the profiler. That's pretty amazing. But yeah, now
just
for a little excursion.
to activate flight modus. Mobile phones, and they always ring at the same at the time when you don't need them. Okay, what you can do, what I would like to show now is using this one now on this stack track here, using the stereo delay, mono to stereo. So if you like to record with effects for the play feel, and then record while listening to effects for the play feel, and then just record without the effects and use the effects from the DAW later on. So this is really great to have, and you can do easily this dry, wet stuff with reamping. Then later on, it's just a knob switch away from reamping when you're using USB recording, because the old school reamping is always taking the cables to the amp, matching the levels and everything, and here it's really just one knob, starting reamping, and you're done. So that's all for now for recording with USB. Really simple. Or do you have something to add to it?
No, just as with everything, basically, do that and do it often and try it, because once you get your way around how to use the settings in your DAW, also in combination with the profiler, respectively the rig manager, then you will be quick and you will be knowing what you're doing intuitively, and you don't have to think anymore. And I think that's really important to get this workflow going, because well, we can tell you that's a very rich experience when you can now so quickly lay down amazing sounding guitar tracks, and also still have the options afterwards if you want to add some stuff, use reamping and things like this. And the other thing is how easy it is then to share things, because anywhere you are, even with an iPad or even with an iPhone, I think in the future when the USB connection with the iPhone comes, but not to talk about that, but with an iPad which has a USB connection, you can record guitar parts, guitar tracks to playbacks. Maybe somebody sent you, and you can pass them on, and even your tone plus the DI track, and it's easy for everyone else to just drag them into their DAW project and work with this stuff. And this is really, really opening new opportunities. Still being able to be in the same room with other people and work on stuff cooperatively, but you get the stuff right there where it should be, and that's an amazing improvement in terms of workflow, because you don't have to drag cables and microphones and whatever. It even adds another level of freedom, which frees up creative time you spend with your guitar.
And it's really a creative tool now, a simple creative tool. You can use the reverbs, the overdrives. Why not taking a drum track, running through the profiler. I will show you in some stuff that you can do really great stuff with distorting some signals, some piano signals, and with reamping. Also, if you have a piano part, reamp that and play a wah while reamping. So you can concentrate on playing the wah in the right way while the track is running. So it's a lot of freedom and focusing on some stuff while producing. And it works great. Many people use other audio interfaces because everybody who is recording till now was recording has an audio interface, and it's really easy to switch between. I have some Apollos here, between the Apollo and the profiler. So just for reamping or just for recording with the profiler, switch to the profiler USB, then switch back to the Apollos. So you don't need to put some cables somewhere or turn the computer down because you need to restart for the new audio interface and everything like that. So it's a really great tool to work with. And especially for reamping.
Especially for reamping, yeah. But to reamping will be coming in the next episode. So watch this channel and prepare for the next episode to learn everything about reamping. But there's another thing I want to say, and this is again some creative stuff. I mean, a lot of guitarists do that already, but if you remember, if you know the story, I think the first Joe Satriani record, he produced and worked together with John Cuniberti as well. And he was using Allen wrenches to tip on the pickups, and he created bass drum tones with that, and he was playing a lot of noises just to create some rhythm stuff. And I mean, with the 24 track at that time, you're pretty limited and you need to put things together. And so, but now you're basically open and you can create a lot of off Broadway sounds, left field stuff with your guitar, just some noises and things like this, and loop them up and chop them up and so on. It's so just about making another track, and everything is connected and much more distortion, less distortion, DI, whatever. And that's a very, productive way of letting your creative juices flow. So, and so much creativity rant from my side. If you don't have anything to add at this point, thanks again to Thomas for making his way through the jungle of the new technologies and the new possibilities. Thanks a lot indeed. And we're looking forward to the next episode to learn more and basically all the essential and important stuff about reamping. So far for now, Thomas, thanks again.
Welcome.
And bye. See you then. Oh, of course, if you have questions, drop them in the comments. Use that opportunity. Don't be shy. All right. See ya.
Bye.